Hey guys, Triforce of Doom here,
And Drake Razorfang.
and welcome back to Danganronpa. We are at the actual first trial, which is where Jeff gets to figure out what happened.
Oh god.
And, oh god, I forgot they sort it like this. Why do they sort it like this? And yeah, the skill we got from Sayaka earlier, Melodious Voice, increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed, effective during the bullet time battle. That's gonna be like one of the last bits, basically, but it's gonna help.
Okay.
And that's the only skill we got. But, again, they basically give you that from her first handout after edging you to do that, because most other people's first handouts are skill points.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps to have a buff when you're learning.
Yeah.
So, you don't need to... This is all the same recording session, so you don't need a refresher on the evidence, do you?
Right. No.
Okay, cool.
Oh god.
Yeah, he is now the one with the controller.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one...
For the record, I love the trial text box.
Mm-hmm. We more have to figure out how they done it instead of who done it, but
Yeah, we
still.
know who.
Then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Yes.
Of course.
Okay then, everyone close your eyes, and whoever did it, raise your hand.
They wouldn't do that, dude. Come on.
That got a face
Don't
bomb.
be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick?
Why did that sound like Anne's voice actor from Persona 5?
Hold on, let me Google that while I don't have the controller on me. Once I find where I put my fucking phone.
I don't know, this sounded like it for a moment.
Yeah, I don't think it's Anne Harlicher who voices Kyoko.
I don't either, but it sounded similar enough to be like,
What's going on with those pictures?
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier. Friendship penetrates...
No!
Hifumi, stop.
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Very curious. A 16th seat.
Let's see, voice actor.
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little court...
Oh, it is Erica Harlicher!
fit up to 16 people.
My bad, it actually is On's voice actor. Alright.
Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the...
In the anime, it's Caitlin Glass.
begin.
Yep. The first non-stop debate. This is the bread and butter of the class trial. You feel free to use the tutorials. So basically, everyone's doing their back and forths that go nowhere, and you have to find the interjection point. You use your truth bullets to refute the yellow statements. Thing is, only one correct answer, so make sure on that one.
Yeah.
And this is why I didn't set it to me. Mean would add more evidence and more statements.
Gotcha.
There's also a time limit that persists through all. You can loop it as many times as you want, but there's an overall time limit. You only take damage if you fuck up a statement. And yeah, start is your control sets. Also, I noticed a pop-in, so I don't think they fully fixed that animation for widescreen. Oh well. Yeah, it's your first one. It's on default difficulty. They only give you the one bullet. So.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Okay.
We know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's room.
In the bathroom. So it seems most likely that the killer must have taken her by surprise while she was in the bathroom. She didn't even have a chance to resist.
You have to actually hit the statement.
Right. Forgot that part.
But yeah. So yeah. First one's up to be on default difficulty. It's a give me, but it's a good way to show you how the format works.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's them showing. Okay, so you clearly did a first pass. Here's your little tutorial. Also, there was a fast forward button. Be glad for that.
I assert that the one
It does speed up the timer alongside it.
In the bathroom. So it seems
So basically, it's 10 minutes worth of dialogue that you get.
chance to resist.
There are skills that lower that wobble. Also, R1's gonna be helpful in later cases. You'll see why.
Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room... With the way things have been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
Yeah.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
Nope.
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Alright.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real
It is.
trial.
Also, I fucking love the non-stop debate themes in the entire series. They're all so good. I forget how simple the first case starts you off at.
Mm-hmm.
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon.
You don't say.
The killer used some random knife they had on him. How could anyone do something like that? Son of a bitch!
Just making sure that there wasn't, like...
Yeah, always good. Never hurts to check. But most people's first playthroughs are the first pass to check everything, and then you go.
Mm-hmm. No, that's wrong.
So yeah, obviously those hearts are your life. Those stars you'll see soon.
Yeah.
I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. And yet, what do you
Maybe the fact that it is my room is proof I didn't do it?
Yeah.
Like, bruh.
Hold on a second.
We're not that five-head.
Let's draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments. Otherwise,
We're not so
what's the
big
point
brain
of
as to
the
try to
trial?
kill someone in a room to make it seem like it wasn't us, because that's just crazy.
And as we can see here, could easily fucking backfire.
Well,
Yeah.
we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
I love these camera angles.
More, I guess. Okay.
And there's the stars.
Okay.
You have a focus meter.
Hmm.
Oh wait, no, it's not that they're popping, it's that they're still in silhouette while they're still very barely in the shot.
Hmm.
Because of the whole 2D aspect.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. There is a trophy for winning the case without using the focus gauge, but that's just something you tend to do on repeat playthroughs.
Yeah.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, but he did it in secret when nobody was in the dining hall. And then he went and stabbed Sayaka with it.
So he really did do it.
Yes. And decided. We've reached the end.
Not quite.
So I guess there's no question that but where does that
Makoto must have taken it
Go
from
buy
the
burgers.
He did it in secret.
Yeah, thankfully, as long as you're at least within the orange words, you're fine to break it. It's only if you like hit other text or just empty space
I
period.
didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina? Remember what you were telling me earlier? Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
Hey, Josh.
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't
Hey,
there.
Josh.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall, but I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together and learn
Bruh.
to protect each other?
We only knew each other for a few days, at best.
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
I hear the Morgana now.
Speaking of which,
Yeah, once you know Cassandra's voice, it's kind of hard to unhear it.
Yeah.
do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall.
Oh, speaking of voice actor stuff, because Japanese VA trivia regarding Morgana, actually. That Morgana's Japanese VA is also Pikachu and Tony Chopper. You know who that second one is?
No idea.
One of the Straw Hat Pirates. Yeah. Ikuue Otani, if I'm remembering the name right. I might be misremembering that. I know it's Ikuue at least.
Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together and they just didn't know about the rules?
Also fair.
Good grief! Enough already. No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case. Oops. Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I
So
didn't
that path
take
was
the
shut
knife.
down.
So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then who did take the
Alright.
knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the
Gotta turn
dining
this down
hall.
a bit more just to be safe on mic bleeding because it's TV.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me
Is
the
that fucking
entire time I
aliasing?
was drinking my tea.
I don't see it.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's
Me.
Right. But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well,
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking. I just asked her to stay over.
Fair enough.
Which means we have airtight alibis. You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations? We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms. But it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room. So, I don't think that's a problem.
We can't attest to that. We'd be dead.
It is a problem. A boy and a girl spending the night
Oh
together?
no.
It's
About that.
unwholesome.
About that topic.
I'm a girl.
Yeah.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
But if it wasn't either of you,
You can hear his "oh fuck" in this voice, and I love it.
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
oh yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were there.
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because they're not here anymore. Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
I got it! Then,
I mean,
Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it?
So we're back at square one.
In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What? See? He did do it after all.
shut up, Toko.
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us.
I'm the one who mentioned Hina's alibi!
You possess a most terrifying talent.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Okay, real quick, I want to check something regarding the TV settings. Oh, yep, that would probably help. There, I have less input lag. Ooh, this is a fun one that they keep bringing back. In different forms.
Important phrase. Zeus the phrase in the letters language.
It's called Hangman's Gambit for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
They give you a question and you have to answer it by spelling it. In minigame form. Twos is absolute bullshit.
I've been at the scene but one. Ah.
Alright, they just fill in some of them when you're on a not mean.
Like, fine.
You gotta shoot it until it breaks.
Gotcha. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. See? Fill in the word. There you go.
Now I understand.
Pretty simple once you get the hang of it. Twos is rude though. Twos is just a rude. You can take damage just from bad luck.
There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone
But she was in the bathroom.
Trace that
Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
That's what we've been saying!
Sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
When that absence is evidence, yes.
No. There are other reasons that prove
Also
why
that.
Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene?
Oh yeah, that.
The door was broken when we know the way in.
Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with it?
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
And this is just a pick the evidence situation.
The doorknob.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, trust me, that'll get you a few times. I've done it before myself.
Me pressing the wrong button.
It's because they made triangle confirm.
Yeah. Press X, it gives you more info. Press X, it gives you more info. Press X, gives you more info. Press triangle. You're presenting it now. Oh.
Yeah, they do straight up say in glowing letters, just you might be on autopilot.
Yeah.
But they at least tell you so for when you snap out and go, wait, why is this not working? Oh.
Yeah.
I've done that many times in the games.
See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
Well, it's not my only choice. I can open it.
You still don't see? Okay then, let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Oh, there was one more thing for this case? Oh, okay, there we go. Now they're going, okay, we're giving you more options now. Good luck. Alright.
One liar contradiction.
Yep, only ever one answer. Yeah, basically, if you try to use the bullet on the wrong thing, you'll look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And this is where logic comes into play.
Oh, God.
Yeah, or his first case, and we know how this basically goes down with this
Door
case.
frame. Okay.
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
Yes.
Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
And finally, the culprit had Sayaka cornered.
To finish the job, they stabbed her with the kitchen knife.
It was you, wasn't it, Makoto? Admit it. We
You're not
already
gonna let that
know
go,
the answer.
are you?
Toko's very stubborn.
Oh, just point it out.
Took place in the Sayaka was first. She then
Real
fled
obviously,
into the
okay.
Killer ran, and they got into the back. At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door.
Okay, it's also the
because
first
Sayaka
trial.
had locked it.
I also thought you were just about to barely miss it.
So was I.
Yeah, the thing is that the bullet does take like a quick second to break. Like fire, I mean.
After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck. Huh? What are you talking about? My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door... That's not lucky.
Except it's the only reason we're not already being, absolutely voted for.
It is lucky, just lucky in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place?
And here it comes.
Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
So they didn't know
that the crime took place in my room.
Yep.
I got it!
Yeah, this is when we actually pay attention to Makoto's phrasing.
That it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through.
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door opened.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms? Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Bingo.
I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
And now that the suspicions off of us, time to pin this down.
I'm sorry, but I give up. Quit without saving.
Bruh.
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well, why don't we just vote right now?
No!
Majority rules.
No, because you're probably gonna vote for me anyway.
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Anything that's the lead.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you.
You gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna check
Okay,
that.
so, well, I was just wondering.
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Into Makoto's room in the first place.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible.
Now we thought that.
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then maybe someone picked the lock?
Oh, he's trying to ship like as Taka. I knew it!
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it
I've been listening to a few things with his voice in them, you know, like being Subaru and in ReZero. I recently played through Age of Calamity. And he's, you know, one of the more major Breath of the Wild characters.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Miss Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place.
No, I'm the person with fucking context.
Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Okay, that does have the reason it switches rooms in. That's why you check your descriptions.
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place. Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? What the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
But that's where that comes in. For some reason, I thought Makoto himself found that clue.
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But
Of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
Oh boy. One name hits.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Yes.
But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that note, then they would have gone to Sayaka's room.
Exactly. The room.
So yeah, things are definitely starting to make more sense now, huh?
So we know their words. Even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
It would, if it were for one fact.
Yeah.
Sayaka and Makoto switched but in the note. It specifically I see. Then they would have gone to Sayaka.
Exactly. The room that...
No, it's wrong. The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had Sayaka's.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus,
we
their
get
rooms are
there.
right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Well, yeah, that would kind of defeat the purpose.
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
I got it!
Yeah.
Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
Yep.
You can also infer as much from her note.
Not sure why she would want this, but...
It'll make more sense as you go.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, one nice thing for if you do end up spacing on something, one of the last mini games is basically recapping all the events in one cohesive timeline.
Mm.
That's a fun one.
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate.
Because you do it by turning it into a manga.
Mm.
She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her.
With what? She's the
We
one with the
figured it
knife.
out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
No shit.
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot.
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that initial struggle.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then... we just have to figure out what happened during the fight, right?
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
Look, old dust. I mean, that's an obvious one.
Mm-hmm.
They said when you look at the wrist, so I'd say maybe go for the wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrist was glittery at the injury's location.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that being either that or the
All
sword.
you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
Bingo.
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
So is this where white noise comes in, or is that later? Or oh, this is probably getting more evidence. Yep, more evidence. You cycle through them with up and down on the D-pad.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, yeah, it's L1 and then using up and down. So basically hold to go to chamber mode, as I call it. Or left stick, whatever. But yeah. Alright, the tutorial purposely puts it on mean for this specific debate just so you can see what they mean.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Alright.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword. And that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
And that's what broke Miss Mizono's wrist.
So, she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away. The then the culprit took that from her too.
And they killed her with it.
And that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
So do you remember the deal with the sheath?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you know what to do.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword. And that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack.
No, it's wrong.
Oh, in case you're wondering, the "No That's Wrong" is "Sore wa Chigaoyo" in
I don't
Japanese.
think the fight started with the
Just
sword.
fun trivia.
Why not?
Because the sword sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with something sharp.
Something sharp? You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Yeah, because a replica sword would be blunt.
Mm-hmm.
Stop jumping ahead. Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going on.
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Yep.
Okay, so how did the sheath get damaged?
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it. So here's how it all played out. The culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her.
No.
She laid an ambush, and it backfired on her.
Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Also, there's no gold dust in her hands. She would have had that.
That too.
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
The palms of her hands.
I got it!
Yeah, totally hold it with your stomach.
Something about her
Yeah.
That'd be impressive.
Mm-hmm.
The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at
That gold dust, we just talked about
Like I
this.
said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have
The
to
gold
do is
leaf
touch
would,
it.
yeah.
In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle.
Hey.
It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
Those two are unrelated statements.
No, that's not it at all.
Ah,
right.
yep.
She was afraid of water.
Nah, she's not Rasputin from Psychonauts. Been playing through that.
5:30 a.m.
Although Raz is less afraid of water and more just has a family curse regarding it.
In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime. Right?
Yes, hi Shadows. Hi. I can't decide to be cuddly with Jeff.
I know, but count on that.
Yep, he does this. I'm sorry, Toko, what the fuck?
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
What?
Okay, Hifumi.
Insult, obviously.
That face.
Yeah.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, And the one who damaged the sheet with the kitchen knife was...
Yep.
I got it!
Oh my god, Cat.
She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
And the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
And there it is.
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own. She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto.
Check something. Okay, that's not even been an hour yet.
But for that to work, the target
I figured this part would be long.
while still keeping the room swap a secret.
Oh yeah, the first kiss doesn't really have a safe point with how short it overall is.
Knew she had switched rooms. They would have become suspicious right away.
I mean, well, V3's first case.
Uh-huh.
Oh
I
boy.
think that's the only one that I know the twist for.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, the V3 one.
Fuck!
Or at least I know, like, what makes it so special. I think. But we'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar.
Also that.
More likely to believe.
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true! Because...
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Fair point.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
No, there absolutely is! Guys!
Makoto plus.
I don't think Makoto took much English.
Dying message.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Very well. Then let's review all the clues we've found up to this point one more time.
Do we really have time for all that?
We have 10 minutes.
Die! Die! If we don't do something, we're gonna die!
She is not wrong.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Yes, there
No,
are.
it's wrong. There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dying? Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Yeah.
Before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the
Yes.
one who wrote it?
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do those numbers mean? 11037?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's
We already
not...
asked her about that.
Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because
There
they're
we go.
not numbers.
Oh, yeah, it looks like...
What? What?
No, it's just a look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
When Hifumi is the one who clues everyone in.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh.
Right. The connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but...
Mercedes. From 3 Houses.
Oh, really?
That's your voice actor.
Hold on. Where did I put my fuck? There it is. I need to check this now while you're doing this.
Looking at it now...
In case you're wondering, people, yes, this is why I'm like when I get into voice actor mode. I'm constantly Googling characters.
And I mean, it's better that he Googles it, not me, because I don't want to accidentally get spoiled.
Yeah, also that.
At least that's...
Whoa. You might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Let's... Okay. I should move away from Heroes Wiki and look for the Danganronpa Wiki. There we are.
But even if that really is
Go away, ads! Dorothy Elias phone.
11037,
Oh my
doesn't
god!
make any more
Fuck off,
sense than
ads!
before.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Pojiro and Sayaka are the same goddamn VA. Also, Makoto's mom in that message.
She wrote down the killer's name.
This VA got work.
You just shot past the clue card and right onto who did it. So, whose name did she write?
Yeah, Mercedes. Also, apparently CyberConnect 2 and Hyperdimension Neptunia, because, you know, they personified companies as well as consoles.
Here's my answer.
I love the way they have you choose who did it. It's so satisfying.
Simply rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
Oh, fuck.
What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence.
You're really gonna try to pull that shit?
And you have a white shirt.
We haven't even touched on that yet.
Yeah.
That happen to look like my name.
Dude.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally. and had to write
Yep.
upside down.
I even did this myself when I first got to this part just to check. And yeah, she's not wrong.
When you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
Says the guy who's been saying we're the killer.
If you're not
They had some evidence regarding us, but we refuted that shit.
Huh? You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
You can also loop, I believe, with this. I might be misremembering that. Yep. Say, hey, now you know that for future, too. Less scrolling that way. As long as you remember the evidence order.
Found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked.
Most certainly comfortable.
Yep. He's just like that.
Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right. There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you
I
can say
love
for
the way
sure
they
who
drew
it
him.
belongs to.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
Either how or where.
I'd say how.
I got it! If you look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right?
No!
Not at all.
And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either.
Well, except...
You need the key to get in. And the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
That took him a bit to realize.
Yeah.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy the evidence. Which means the only possible suspect is whoever had the trash room key.
Okay, so the person who would have had the trash room key was... Huh? Me?
Porky Fumi.
The key to the trash room, whoever was on cleaning.
So the only one who's the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close to the incinerator. No, that's wrong.
Oh my god.
Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
And you know, heroes in the corner crying.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but,
But how would you use it?
Divine with it.
I got it.
He's the ultimate baseball star
simply
after all.
took aim at the
Yep.
incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate. All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw that through a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
That's how they don't revoice the flashback bits.
Mm-hmm.
Hifumi had the key, so the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they got the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small.
Is nothing for the ultimate baseball star.
Can someone really do that?
How far is how big is a baseball field usually again?
I mean, I'm pretty sure the distance to base is like 90 feet. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
The ultimate fanficker.
Funny thing is, all three of them have some stake in this with the evidence.
I got it.
Like, one was chilling duty, the other had his ball used, and...
Isn't that right, Leon? Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer. These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you.
You still won't admit it? Okay then, Makoto. Go ahead and
Here we go.
revisit it one more time to make his crime
Second to last
perfectly
bit.
clear. And
So we're almost done here.
we can end this.
Listen to me. What the hell do you mean end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered, and the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
The closing arguments. Summarize the case.
Mm-hmm. Pieces missing. Complete the comic. Truth panels. X button.
Yeah, X gives you a what was going on in this type of thing, like a more, a slightly generic hint to help you lead on.
Climax interference.
So if you like hold X over that question mark, for example, and then yeah, you use the bumper to switch pages effectively. And you can you oh right, you can just scroll that way.
Guess. This?
No, I don't think so. Hold on, quickly just hover over the question mark.
Right. Yeah.
Always helps to check what the context would be. Yeah, the fun thing is the way the different games mix this up to keep it fresh, while still keeping the feel of it. But yeah, I believe with this one, they do have some fake out evidence to trip you up. Like, note how we never actually used the her dropping the knife one there.
Mm-hmm. would have done that later.
Ah. Like, that one you could have just gotten from the context pictures, actually.
True.
I love the way they drew these panels. And once you believe you have everything, push triangle.
Killer is you! I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I put in my room and fought back. During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily, and there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her, but of course the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there. But the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw. But the killer had the confidence to take a shot, and that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon? It would appear that Hero simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt. And that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball? You thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories. You need evidence. Where's the evidence? Without evidence, it's all bullshit.
And one last little thing to push him over.
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence.
Time for the BTB. Do you like rhythm games?
Head-to-head battle.
So this is where that skill Sayaka gave us comes in handy. You basically deal more damage with that skill.
Mm-hmm. Show that in time to rhythm. Okay. Button pressing the team.
So basically you want to push X to lock onto as many statements as possible, and then push triangle to break them all at once. But if you take too long, one of the statements could reach you and deal you damage. So it's all about balancing how many times you push X versus how many times you push triangle.
It's just X and triangle?
Yeah. See? So X to prep, triangle to fire is how it works. And one X push equals one statement you've locked onto, and you can multi-lock, just, don't take too long breaking the closest one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and combos are a thing. Lets you do it faster, and deal more damage, I believe. And then just choose the correct evidence, which I kind of spoil in the tutorial, but it's a tutorial. So yeah. Basically the last one was just one last basic, debate statement. Pretty simple. Definitely easier than twos. Fuck twos. The way to change up some of the previous ones was just weird, unfortunately.
I refuse to acknowledge you. You're stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid.
I don't know what he says in Japanese. I don't know if it was actually Baka or anything like that. Oh, it might have been Aho. That could have been it.
Where's your crew? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. Stupid. You lied. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. Where's your proof?
For triangle. If it takes too long, he'll just go back to the beat.
Yeah. I was looking to see if I had to, like, aim at it.
No, it's just push triangle when you're on the evidence you want.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove that.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
That must be what he used. There aren't any other tools anywhere.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon,
Is it broken
would
record?
you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid,
If you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
So, now that we know who did it and who died initially, fun fact about those two characters, Sayaka and Leon. They were the first two characters they ever designed for this game, and they would have to constantly go back to them when reworking the design philosophy of the game's art. So, they were the first two to die because they were just sick of drawing them.
Nice.
I think that was for doing that without taking damage. Yeah, without taking damage and without using focus. Nice. I know I had it on default difficulty compared to me, but still nice.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our votes? You all
Oh,
have
damn,
a lever
3
in front of
trophies
you.
there. Huh.
Use it to make
I'll have to
your
look up what the other
selection.
one was.
Oh, just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right?
Participation is required.
Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice? Or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
So yeah, fun first case, huh?
Hey, hold on. You son of a bitch! I didn't have a choice. So that's why.
None of you are any different!
I was just unlucky. That's all.
Hey, come on!
Yeah.
No matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you
The
on
fun
this.
question is, how much was her been wanting to genuinely help Makoto, and when did it fully flip for her?
I would guess about the time of the video.
Yeah.
Ba-bum, ba-bum. Here.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's smart.
Calm down.
Ba-bum, ba-bum. Yes, indeed.
Alright, here we go.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
No, that did. Wait for it. Yeah, you had multiple outs, man.
Do you understand?
So, that's...
Oh,
Unbelievable. Hey,
Grills, chills, kills! I'm begging you, please, don't do this!
Hey, come on now.
Stop, please!
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
Here we go.
No!
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
No!
Hoo boy. Goddamn right.
Yeah.
Extreme!
Yeah. Executions in this game are brutal.
I can't take it.
Well?
Damn you!
What the heck? Say what?
So, yeah. Alright. So, yeah. They... Obviously, yeah, they're all just kind of still standing there in fucking shock.
Yeah.
Just a second.
Oh, alright. We're at this point now.
Makoto. Listen.
Yep, time to get this out of the way.
It's true. However... So... Certainly. Anyway... Right. Correct. Hey. What?
Damn it.
And that's chapter 1. Yeah, that's gonna be a long-ass part to render. But oh well. And with that, there were 12. So yeah, with all that said, we'll see you guys next time for chapter 2. This has been the Triforce of Doom.
And Drake Razorfang.
Peace out.